Good evening and welcome to QNN. I'm Kathy Jurgens.
Albert Schweitzer's legacy of volunteerism is still guided by his Reverence for Life philosophy.
10,000 U.S. students and teachers apply for this scholarship each year. If you're having an issue with your iPhone, you go to an Apple genius to help you out. But how many would tap into the genius of women? The U.S. and 5 Arab nations launched airstrikes against Syrian-based terror network ISIS this week. Students are finding their own parking spaces, but the way they're doing it is catching the attention of public safety, resulting in ticketing and towing. Thousands of activists poured into Manhattan hoping to mimic the chaos massive weather events would inflict on the stock market and world economies. It was a different type of midterm this week, but instead of taking tests, students are tasting ice cream. Plus, a sweet sale for a serious cause.
Even more food.
That's it.
Albert Schweitzer's legacy of volunteerism is still guided by his Reverence for Life philosophy. It's a philosophy Schweitzer once famously said develops from observing the world around us. We're better to debut the observations of Hamden nature photographer Ethel Garcia than Quinnipiac University's own Albert Schweitzer Institute.
It was our idea to have something about Hamden because many parts of Hamden and the Quinnipiac University area are very pretty. But people bring in exhibits from other parts of the world, and we decided to feature the area that we live in because there's so many beautiful things in this environment.
It's Garcia's eye for beauty and her respect for nature that makes her work such a perfect fit at the gallery.
And to be honest with you, Albert Schweitzer was viewed as the founding father of the environmental movements. So the fact that we're promoting the environment in this area, I think is very important, and it's very consistent with our philosophies and ideas of Albert Schweitzer.
Those ideas include the Institute's goal of making service to the environment and the community a natural part of everyday life.
I absolutely adore the philosophy of Reverence for Life because I think if everybody followed that philosophy of having respect for all living things, there would be no problems on Earth. And so this exhibit exemplifies that philosophy. We have photos of nature, animals, the environment, people, and it's a peaceful place to be.
For me, it fills my soul, so I have to do it. I bring my camera with me everywhere. I actually put the camera to bed with me last night because the moon was shining right in my room, so I take a lot of moon pictures, but it brings me in my zen. It takes the stress away. It just enlightens me because everybody's eye is different. What you see through the lens is really what your soul is speaking to you. So,
I think she belongs in bigger galleries. I think she needs to spread her message and her talent with as many people as possible because she makes people feel good with her photographs.
This is Kathy Jurgens for QNN.
The Fulbright Scholarship was created after World War II to promote international peace through educational and cultural exchanges. It operates in 155 countries and is open to everyone who thinks they have the grades, passion, and a compelling reason to apply.
The Fulbright Scholarship is a fellowship that is sponsored by the United States State Department, and it sends scholars abroad or students for a year to study or to conduct research or to teach English.
Journalism professor Ed Allwood took part in the program and taught at the American University in Bulgaria.
They asked me to teach 2 courses, one on mass communication and the second course on investigative journalism.
Professor Allwood's advice to scholars: don't be afraid to step out of your comfort zone.
It's an amazing experience to go to a country where you don't speak the language. At the university, everybody spoke English, but not in the town. So my ability to communicate was very, very limited.
10,000 U.S. students and teachers apply for this scholarship each year. Only 150 can expect to win. Quinnipiac students attended the session to find out what it takes.
I was really interested in being able to teach English somewhere. I think that's awesome.
I think it'd be an interesting opportunity to see the world in a different way, to be able to do work outside of the United States.
Professor Paddock said Tuesday's turnout proves Quinnipiac students are ready to explore the world and apply what they've learned. For QNN, I'm Kathy Jurgens. The U.S. and 5 Arab nations launched airstrikes against Syrian-based terror network ISIS this week. ISIS claimed Raqqa as capital of its self-declared Islamic State of Iraq and Syria last year. It has subjected civilians to extreme Islamic law, beheaded hostages, and threatens any nation that stands against it. President Obama called for action at the UN's 69th General Assembly in New York. Obama joined world leaders representing 193 member states in the European Union. The UN is debating the best way to meet urgent world crises, including conflicts in the Mideast and Ukraine, Ebola, and climate disruption. The climate debate began as environmental activists tried to shut down Wall Street. They seek to highlight the connection between global warming and big business. Thousands of activists poured into Manhattan hoping to mimic the chaos massive weather events would inflict on the stock market and world economies. Organizers of the week's Flood Wall Street event said it is important to bring environmental disruption to the doorstep of the people they hold fundamentally responsible for climate change.